Good evening, brothers and sisters. I come to you also from my home, just from my front porch, because my office is being used. So here I am, enjoying another beautiful evening that we are blessed with during the springtime here. Just wanted to express my love and appreciation to all of you, especially all of you women out there who are viewing these videos and beyond. I've been doing a lot of study and reflection about the role of women in our lives, including those who are most close to me, my own wife, my four beautiful daughters, and my mother and grandmothers, and I have to say I must be one of the most blessed men I know to be able to be associated with such remarkable people. Tonight, my family and I watched a CES fireside done by then Elder Russell M. Nelson in 2005, February 2005, which would have been just a few months, probably just a few weeks before my dear grandmother, Dancel Nelson, before she passed away. And I, in my memory, because it had been since I was there. In fact, if you go back and watch it, you may see me when they show our family at one point. But I seem to remember that entire fireside being about my grandmother. In reality, there were only a couple of videos or a couple of pictures and some mention of our family and things like that. But a lot more focus on the doctrines, a lot more focus on the experiences that we go through in mortality and how the gospel of Jesus Christ can anchor us and give us that firm foundation that we need. And I as I was listening to watching the broadcast again with my family, I was trying to think, now why did I think this was all about my grandmother? And then I thought, because it is, because she was the type of person who lived everything that we strive to. The example that she has always been to me and my entire family, striving to lead the posterity of Adam in the right direction, to bless their lives, to help us all stay on the covenant path. Obviously, this was, nobody could have foreseen what would have taken place shortly after that fireside, or in the 16 years since then. Certainly loss of hair, I wouldn't have expected that. Lots of things since that time. But the principles that we are taught through our prophets and apostles, through the general authorities, and in the scriptures, bless our lives, and they help us in times that are tough, and they reinforce us during all times. Some of the rules or the commandments may be a challenge or a burden. For me, I am learning more and more just how much they bless my life as I really take them seriously, as I follow them, as I act on what I learn, what I feel. The other thing I wanted to mention, this weekend of walking down memory lane, when President Parker sent out her email from the Relief Society presidency, quoting heavily from Sister Sherry Dew's talk in 2001, October 2001. This was the first talk where I really realized the impact which General Conference and which teachings of the Church have in the lives of people who don't have that. I was serving my mission. I was on my mission. I've only been out a couple months. It was about a month after 9/11, as many of you will recall, and I was in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Say that 3 times fast. And we had been teaching a gentleman who was not really sure what all this church stuff really meant, and so we decided to invite him to conference. And at the time, it wasn't being streamed elsewhere, just at the church. So we took him to the church, and we watched that session of conference. And he snuck in before or after it started and left before it ended, so we didn't get to talk to him until our next appointment the following week. And we said, "What do you think? Was there anything that stood out to you from conference?" And he said, "Yes, that woman was incredible." And it's like, yeah, well, she really is. She is amazing. So again, it just impressed me so much to see the impact it had on him, to say, why don't more people understand how powerful women in our lives are? Why don't we treat them that way? I thought, gosh, you're probably right. There's probably more I need to do in that regard, back then and still today. But something else from Sister Du's talk that really stood out to me is the principle that all women are mothers, and that they show love and concern and model what real women try to be every day in their interactions with them. I love what she talked about when it came to modeling that for the sisters or the young women, that we should be reaching out to them and being friends with them long before they come into Relief Society at age 18. We should be that sisters should be that model for them long before that happens. And the principle overall that mothering doesn't just happen with biology, that you don't just become a mother just because you give birth to someone. Many of you know, in my line of work, I work with foster parents, and speaking of loving and giving everything you have to people who are not your own biologically. These families, and especially my foster mamas, have long been an amazing example to me of love and compassion for children who don't have much at all of what we have. To spare you many details, they at a moment's notice take temporary overseeing of someone else's child or children, sometimes many children. And the impact that I see them have through their love and dedication and consistency will never, ever stop amazing me, because I know why they're doing it. I know that they love the kids they have in their home, and has always been an amazing privilege for me to be a part of their lives, and to see them make an impact on generations, not just on that one child they had in their home, but literally for generations. It's fascinating to watch. And so in that same vein, there are all of our sisters here in our ward who bless us. And whether you belong to someone biologically or not, you can mother them and make an impact in their lives forever. To all of my friends and family in the ward, to our neighbors and friends, whoever view this, I'm grateful for your examples. I'm thankful that I have had the kind of people in my life who have led me in the way I should go. I know that the gospel of Jesus Christ is true. I know that we belong to his church, and that through the atonement of Christ we can become whole. Whatever pains or discomforts or disappointments or anxieties we experience, he is there to alleviate all of it, because he already has. And what a beautiful way to teach it through our mothers, through the women in our lives who love us, who mother us. I've often been called, well, the role of a bishop has often been called the father of the ward, but I have long viewed it just the opposite. I have been mothered by many in the ward, and I am so glad. And if I took the time to highlight everybody, we'd be here all night. This would be a lot longer than a 7-minute video. So just know how grateful I am for each of you, for your examples to me, both in the way that you raise your children, the way that you support your families, the way that you counsel me as I have sought your counsel and counseled with you. But I know again that the gospel is true. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for all that I'm blessed with, and know that it is up to me now to do something with it, to bless others' lives, and hopefully Hopefully we're all able to benefit in these ways as we follow the commandments, as we hearken to the teachings of Christ through his prophets and apostles. And love you all. Have a great week, and we'll be in touch. See ya.